Teni dada data, teni semjin, tamje, sanje, goma, toba la, teni tabji yore, teni sobzangi la, teni meto ga saunde, 사단 초단 진 삼천 손아 이 망벌들이 매도 그 삼만 정도에 대해서 남성 들이 유럽고 소당이 남들이 사족도 봐 매도 사우나 매도 정화지들이 들이 상하가 탑대들이 다 년람들이 메타 퍼센트 받아서 메타 퍼센트 받는 배는 생제가 다 다른 메타가 생제 다 다른 처리들이 다 저도 그래 매사신 있으면 차도 이 가리리 따와가 떠올랐더니 상하가 따와 찍을렀더니 있으면 비실했더니 누가 있어 박차장요래 들이 데렸더니 다 다른 탑스더니 상하 왕 고체들 고가래들 다 류가 이 섬섬지가 나오냐만 데렸더니 휴직이 사니 사용 거요래 대회는 단지 호화가 사들이 도니 답을 추가서 lunga 있음 조관디를 상하 탑라티니 따와거든요. 담보 땅고 시내 이제리 생기담게 sen데 대식인 뭐에 맞다 땅고 둘에 lunga 있어라 진게들이 그치 풍는 매자 빠져들이 사속 탑쇼를 대다다 제습나 선거요 법에 제습나 그 풍부도 좀 남은 사람으로서 풍부도 포보들들이 다 동행한 만나서 요거를 놓아도 대신에 플라고바 잡들이 풍부냠들이 풍부 박차 잡들이 놓아도 플라이스 안나서 맞아라지 들이 유몽도 좀 대동 사제에서 들이 라디르티니 자르들이 차당 모습 똑같이 이제 차당 모습 똑같아서 이제 유몽이 실려줘도 유몽 강지한테 따위 무슨 있으나 유몽 코랑이 실려 배를 세상치 보들 나오나 세상치 따하는 무슨 있으나 사동들이 되는지 유몽 동가지 사동 대동 나동 대라소들이 유몽 아지 시간을 줬다가지 시체가 떠버리 되게 르과이 시제 벌어서 유몽도 좀 대동 사제 탭서 그리 첩다도 좀 재미 상황이에서 또 먹을 첩다도 되는데 다심 대신 뭐 그런 것들이 자손도 위해 탑소를 그렇게지요 말이 사실 걸 깨지요 말이 대다더니 자손도 없고 나동 거 작동성 셔터 톡이 셔터들이 다 돌겠으면 비시도 그리가 뭐 차랑이 다 저거래 들이 상하 탑지 쳐봐서 들이 왕들이 고통 속에서 또 말하더니 그래도 더 설걸 jogo요 들이라 다 토마토니 다른 마탑지게 왕초가 동지가리 습지 섭지 사제저 공방을 꾸고 가 사제 터서 대습지 바르고는 들이 왕초저
So all sentient beings have two methods to attain Buddhahood, and that is the swift path and the longer path. The Pratimoksha and the Bodhisattva path are the longer path, and they are like the slow maturing of a seed into a flower. So you plant a seed, it encounters earth and water and various conditions, and so eventually in the future all the qualities of a flower will emerge. So that is called the longer path. Then the Vajrayana secret mantra is swift path of skillful means, and the Vajrayana path is like the meeting of fire and wood. When fire and wood come together, the wood is set on fire instantly and it turns into ashes. So through the Vajrayana practice, similarly, instantly, quickly, dualistic grasping is destroyed. It is only through the power of the secret mantra of you that we purify all the habitual imprints of body, speech, and mind. So the view is the knowledge of non-dual primordial awareness. That is what purifies all imprints. And the empowerment is what opens the doors to that. So what kind of door is that? So first, we have this ordinary body, speech, and mind, and sentient beings identify with that and think that this is me. And it is through such thinking that we engage in various activities, whether it is dharma or mundane activities. Understanding this, we abandon samsaric activity and enter into the activities, the practice of the Dharma, and here of Vajrayana. And it is through the skillful means of the Vajrayana that we must first recognize the natural state of the mind. And that is to understand that all sentient beings possess the same Buddha nature. That's their fundamental nature. And their ordinary body, speech, and mind is just like dry wood. And when we practice the Vajrayana, this pile of wood is set on fire and is burned away, and just like that, sentient beings can attain enlightenment. In the lineage supplication in the Vajrakilaya Sadhana, it speaks about the conquering of the 4 demons. So first, there's a verse on conquering the demon of the aggregates, where it says, conquering the demon of the aggregates, let this body of fully ripened karma become liberated as the deity. So it is through the body, this demon of the aggregate, that we experience all sorts of suffering in the 6 realms of samsara. When we visualize the form of the deity, it is like we are setting fire on this pile of wood, which are our aggregates, and all ordinary imprints are burned away. So the point of this verse, the instruction is, do never separate from the clear vision of the deity. The next, the supplication speaks about the conquering of the demon of the afflictions. Conquer the demon of afflictions with the seal of bliss and emptiness. This is because there is self-grasping. On the basis of self-grasping, we develop many thoughts of attachment, aversion, and ignorance. On the basis of sound, we hear sound and we develop various thoughts. And all of these afflictive emotions that arise must be transformed into primordial awareness. No matter what afflictive emotion arises, recognize its natural state, and then the affliction itself will be seen as primordial awareness. For example, when strong anger arises and you sustain the view, so it arises from within a state of recognition of the natural state, then the anger itself is recognized as clear and empty. And so the same is true for the other 5 afflictive emotions. It is through these afflictive emotions that we recognize clear emptiness or empty clarity, and empty bliss, and empty appearances, and so forth. Through the power of primordial wisdom, through awareness only, we must transform the 5 afflictions into the 5 wisdoms. And then these mental arisings, or the awareness that recognizes these mental arisings, then that is the first kila, which is called the wisdom awareness kila. So conquer the demon of afflictions with the seal of bliss and emptiness. That's the demon of the afflictive emotions. And then the demon of death, conquering the demon of death, gain power of immortal life. That's related to the karma of ignorance. And when one realizes the nature of mind, Buddha nature, one attains the rainbow-like body that transcends birth and death. It is the form of a Buddha that is never born and never dies. So that this rainbow-like form is the empty appearance, the emptiness of appearances. So the form of the deity's empty appearance, and the speech is empty sound, and the deity's mind is liberation upon arising. Liberation upon arising is that when you realize the natural state that is the non-dual awareness, then just naturally all habitual imprints of body and speech will become purified. And this is the skillful means of the secret mantra. So through receiving the empowerment based on the Dharma, we receive such blessings of the deity's body, speech, and mind. But first of all, for you, the disciples, what is most important in order to receive the empowerment is the motivation. So in the beginning, you should think that I am going to receive this empowerment in order to establish all sentient beings in a state of enlightenment. This is why I must attain enlightenment.
In
order to first receive the empowerment, we will offer a mandala, and before that I will offer a hindrance dharma. After the hindrance dharma, we will offer a mandala. Give rise to motivation, thinking that I am receiving this empowerment in order to establish all sentient beings limitless as space in the state of Buddhahood. And when you offer a mandala, think that I'm offering all the sentient beings of the three realms as a mandala. And so what is really offered is the self-grasping of sentient beings. And the mandala has an outer, inner, and secret aspect. The outer aspect is the aspect of the body, and the inner aspect of speech, and the secret aspect of mind. So think that all that appears and exists is offered up to the three jewels, and in return think that we receive their blessings, which is their love, compassion, the altruistic mind. Think that now I have received these blessings. So thinking in this way, please offer a mandala.
这这些叫做考虑就我今就是这些人被落这的这这了那些这个过程，因为下手的差早点的去查了当把早点的去查了把些不个人那么他们差一个人上铺呢经理嘛这把上次告诉你啊把些多的就能参加这个是那多没玩过这把也玩家吧说不就上完这是没说明我刚才就把了什么说话这帮的也记得
Listen with the motivation of bodhicitta thinking. In order to establish all sentient beings extensive as space at the level of great glorious Vajrakumara, I shall receive the profound blessing empowerment and practice it as the path. When the Bhagavan Haruka Vajrakilaya appears in peaceful form, he is glorious Vajrasattva. In the context of the outer secret mantra, he is Vajravidarana. Among the bodhisattvas, he appears as Vajrapani, the Lord of Secrets. In brief, every Buddha is an emanation of Vajrakumara. Although his essence is the primordial wisdom of all Buddhas, he appears in the form of an activity Haruka, an embodiment of the secret aspects of enlightened activity. It is said in the Tantras, from the nature of the Vajradharma Dhatu itself, appears the wisdom form of all the Buddhas, the blazing, terrifying, wrathful one. One of the secret Tantras mentions Vajrakumara's form, the sovereign of all, and so forth. In India and Tibet, accomplished masters who have attained common and supreme siddhis by relying on this exalted deity appeared like stars in the sky, especially in these times when evil forces and Samaya violators that infiltrate the Buddha's teachings are rampant. This supreme deity is praised as the means to subdue them. Padmasambhava said, "When you give rise to conviction without doubt or hesitation, though you practice only this and nothing else, if your wishes are not accomplished, then I, Padmasambhava, will have deceived you beings of future generations." However, since his Vajra speech is undeceiving, in this final age of strife, when other mantras lose their power, the signs of Vajrakilaya's power will become clear, obstructing demons will be subdued, and siddhis appropriate to one's karmic fortune will be attained without obstruction. Therefore, in the tradition of the oral transmission, the revealed treasures and pure visions, there are many extensive and concise sadhanas of this Yidam, who is renowned as the single deity commitment of all the learned and accomplished masters of the old and new schools. Among these various divisions, this lineage is close and endowed with magnificent blessings, from which the breath of the Dakinis has not yet vanished. Beyond doubt, these teachings are timely and profound. On the 10th day of the monkey month, in the year of the sheep, Orgyen Chogyo Dechen Lingpa, the wheel-turning king among the ocean of emanated treasure revealers, revealed this text from Padmasambhava's secret cave in Jewel Rock Mountain, which is situated at the right shoulder of the great glorious one's body, in Tadra, in the eastern part of the heart of the holy place Devikoti. The activities for performing the blessing dharma empowerment of the great glorious single form of Vajrakumara from the threefold secret drop cycle have been completed, and a mandala has been offered.
Lama Barchi Heraka Borje Yona Yabyamchi Bala Senji Labne Chang Kosong Tokji Wam Choso.
Great glorious Guru Haruka, grant me the blessings and the supreme empowerments of body, speech, and mind of Vajrakumara and consort.
Lamadan, Trato Doji Jone, Nisabeban, Chosoma, Sato, Godijan over Jobo Tondo, Dasona, Kodanyam, simply some Jetonis, Achoma, Tobja Part, goes to take a group, just the Chowanyam, Lunde, Jidu.
Thinking from today onwards until attaining enlightenment, I and all sentient beings, limitless as the sky, take refuge with one-pointed devotion without three doors. Repeat the following supplication in the presence of the Guru, who is non-dual from Heruka Vajrakumara, and who embodies the essence of the three jewels and three roots.
Lama, Wencho, Sun Nam Dang, Pere, Gadang, Khan Roma, Javier, Jamto, Chi Nam La, Chan Chuk, Pardu, Jabsun Che.
Please repeat. Guru, three jewels, Heruka and Dakini, I take refuge in you, ocean-like places of refuge, until attaining awakening.
어차피 탑재자도 돕고 산재자 고마도 벌써 대라 내가 사도 넘나 빠져 주베 되게 뽕도 제바 더게 타속버치 도제 조는 고모 더 벌써 그래서 서로 와거서 뭐주 생겨라 벌써니 남들 양들이 뭐 겨워년 번데 지도
I shall attain the state of perfect awakening for the sake of all sentient beings. I shall receive the profound blessings of the empowerment to ripen my mind stream, and thereafter engage in practice in order to subdue the hosts of evil forces who cause hindrances on the stages and paths, and ultimately I will attain the state of great glorious Vajrakumara. Thinking thus, please repeat the following supplication.
Semji, Namji, Dongji Sir, Dobe, Sangji, Pomdola, Parde, Jube, Dunder Sir, Barqing, Hompang, Poparsa.
Please repeat. Wishing to attain complete Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings, I shall attain the state of the great glorious one in order to subdue obstructing demons. I shall offer the 8 branches of confession, the essence of accumulation and purification, by paying homage and so forth to the oceanic clouds of the infinite field of accumulation, the Guru, Yidam, Dakinis, and Dharma protectors, the space-pervading mandala, naturally manifesting from the liveliness of the all-pervasive Dharmadhatu, the heart of glorious Guru Heruka Vajrakumara. Contemplating thus, please repeat the following.
Loje, Lopun, Sangje Bar, Dusam, Yola, Samsa Lo, Tosum, Dimbi, Sengala, Nimi, Yiji, Jabson Che, Unjur, Yije, Namdurbe, Dagbe, Chuba, yi so so, ngu zhe, cho wo, ju be ge, ni ze, ma lu, xia guar je, so jie, kor sen, da gui chu, ma cha, ju la, ji ye rang, da ba, ta ji, zhe ma mi, zo gui, san chu, sen ji zo, zhe xie, san chu, sen ba la, da ba, sen jie, lu bo lo, se rap, zhang wei, ye wa nang, du ze, san chu, chen bo ngo.
Please repeat. Homage to the Vajra Master and the glorious Buddhas present in the three times. In the three jewels, which are the basis of the teachings, I take refuge with an undivided mind. Please accept these pure offerings, both actually present and mentally created. I confess all erroneous actions without exception, the hindrances that obstruct the stream of attainments. I rejoice in unattached conduct, the Dharma of threefold purity throughout the 10 directions. I give rise to the mind set on perfect awakening, the pure mind that is undefiled by the 4 extremes. I offer my body of threefold purity to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Gathering the virtues collected throughout all lives, I dedicate them toward great awakening. Having first purified your mind stream in this way, visualize the Samaya being in order to bring down the wisdom beings and absorb their blessings as they dissolve into you. The state of Vajra wrath severs hatred. A blazing great blue weapon arises as a bindu in the center of space, from whom light rays radiate out into the 10 directions, and all appearance and existence becomes the pure land of Kilaya. From the dark blue expanse arisen from A arises the terrifying blazing palace, which has in its center a Vajra rock and a lotus sun disk and Mahadeva with consort. Upon this is a hong, which transforms into a dark blue Vajra marked with a hong. The light rays blazing from it invites the wisdom being who emanates from the natural state of the Vajra Dharmadhatu as a terrifying form of blazing wrath. Dark blue in color with 3 faces and 6 arms. The right face is white, the left face is red, and the central face is blue. His 9 fierce eyes gaze into the 10 directions. With gaping mouth, twisting tongue, and bared fangs, he loudly proclaims the sound of Arali. His beard and eyebrows bristle like fire, his hair swirls upward, and is sealed by a half Vajra at the center of which is Guru Akshobhya. In his first right hand he holds a 9-pointed Vajra, and in his second right hand he holds a 5-pointed Vajra, aiming at the 10 directions. His first left hand is in the subjugating mudra, radiating wisdom flames. His second left hand holds a Khatvanga staff. With his lower 2 hands, he rolls a Mount Meru Purba, and his Vajra wing and jeweled wing spread wide. His upper garment is made of an elephant skin, a human skin draped over his shoulders, and a tiger skin skirt wrapped around his lower body. He wears a long necklace made of 3 types of skulls, a crown ornament of 5 dry skulls, a crest ornament studded with gems, and 5 kinds of snakes encircling his limbs and body. His face is smeared with blood, grease, and ashes. His body is complete with the 10 attributes of glory, such as the 6 bone ornaments, and his 4 legs are spread wide. He embraces his blazing dark blue consort, Kologyedema, on his lap. Her right hand embraces his neck holding an Utpala flower. With her left hand she serves a skull cup filled with blood to the father. Her youth is vibrant, and she is adorned with the 5 mudras. Her left leg is bent and embraces the waist of the father, while her right leg is extended. Thus they are united in a state of bliss. The pores of their bodies are filled with millions of vajras, and they are covered by an armor of crossed vajras, emitting kila sparks like shooting stars. The forehead of yourself, visualized as the deity, is marked with a white the throat with a red A, and the heart with a blue hung, having the essence of the 3 vajras of all Buddhas.
Sawa Samayanda Dana Avijaya Dana Avijaya Dana Randetni, Tatoma, Dolmangere, Trin Makara, Tri Doji Jolly to call a thought of the subject of the last of the Nakaka joke. Tetri, Melon was the heat of Tomitella, Takale, Shar, Tritera, Tomari, Tomar in Nandre, Toma Ramnatri, this is yet, Toma the Tomo Jaye come to Shivade. Part of the Larky Badi, Jaega Kimon, Lakaba Trouble, but Joktoyo. A Somali Chubashi Badi, in Rokan Chimbota and the dormitory, Chubatanki, the Yunga, Tachita, the last of one, just a hundred years of the tournament Chubayore, Ben and Rokan Chimbo, Titawari, the Satakiri Chubayan Tanayore, Jaekan Tanari, the Layatin, Flatan, Chubatan. Nyamderi, Jaekan, La, Choba Sun, Toma Tanity, you must have the Shiba, so the little Madras, Thomas in the Unity, Tomati, Destin Tanity, Manner of Revelas or Unity, Long Kelly Jula, the Congo Sanchuk said the Tendere, you was Jula Sanchuk, Theta, Tamjesi, Jodere, that Manner of Revelas about the Tita, the only gun and Reverie. The Java commander, Judas, have a June, Revenue, so have a June, Shibakari, Sanchuk said the jury better. This is Sanchuk sent the Ragatakam, Sanchuk sent a young Drubchen Yore. The data which is not only absolutely about the Gubachin Yore. The eight out Oman, the Shijertini, this is a Toma one Yore. Tenite da toma, tahu toma literi, toma la tota de tau on literi, ozer capo churi, tenite ozer capo, teke, tenis, Roma tamche ge jure poma sade, teni lüde de bajang, de lüde wa rang lü, nga ge lüde de nga, sa nga de tau yin sa ne, di bakcha de ba la ko ya, toma mi ba ne, jure mo bakcha yare. The really Pachata, Tapon Majabaya, the Texans, the Trinity, Jasot over the Doji Joluka Lamse, yes, the start of dream it out, Doji Jona, Lame, the 5 o'clock on the Koyanze, Luigi, Pachata Gorsi, Luigi Gorche, so that I was going short.
Next, I will confer the Dharma empowerment. Think that in a space in front of you appears the divine assembly of Vajrakumara's mandala deities, and they are surrounded by all the Buddhas, the deities of the 10 directions and the 3 times. Think that these deities in space are reflected in this image called the tsakli on top of the dorma, and this tsakli picture of the deity on the dorma is like a mirror wherein the deities abiding in space are reflected. The dorma itself should be seen in 4 different ways. First, the dorma represents the boundless palace. Second, the dorma also represents the deity. And there are hundreds and thousands of deities who can all reside within this boundless palace. Third, the dorma also represents the offerings. It is just like a large hotel. All the various sense pleasures, all the offerings are complete within the dorma. For example, the 5 sense objects, the 8 auspicious symbols, and the 8 auspicious substances, and so on. All the desirable sense objects in this universe are present, complete, in the dorma. And so this is what the dorma represents: the boundless palace and the deity and all the offerings. And number 4, the dorma also represents the blessings. That is, after an empowerment or a practice is accomplished, after the dorma has been consecrated through the practice, one may eat a part of the dorma, like when it's made out of dough. It's because the blessings have all dissolved in the dorma, and That is why also part of the Dharma is then sometimes mixed with other blessed substances like the mani pills and so on. So there's this blessed substance that we eat at the end of the practice, and it represents the melted essence of all those deities, bodhicitta, and therefore by eating it also it causes bodhicitta to arise within our own minds. So those mani pills and the various other pills are representative of that. Also, in addition, the lineage or the stream of accomplishment of all the past Buddhas and the past masters are as blessings contained within those blessing pills, for example. So when we say stream or continuum of blessings, what do we mean by that? We refer to the stream of bodhicitta that is being transmitted. And this bodhicitta stream is also connected to one's channels, vents, and drops. So with this understanding, you will come to understand the great significance of the secret mantra practice, its great power. So this empowerment is conferred based on the Dharma, and we should see the Dharma in those 4 different ways. And so for the empowerment, first think that at the 4 heads of the deities are white syllables, and from these white syllables, white light radiates, and it dissolves into your forehead. It touches your mind stream, the mind stream of the disciples, and by touching you, all the obscurations of the body are purified. And so the obscuration of the body is this grasping at me, that's me, I am this body. This habitual thinking, that's the obscuration that we have habituated to since beginningless time in samsara. Actually, this body is just like a pile of wood or kind of a heap of grass that is burned away the moment you set fire on it. So think that in an instant this body is incinerated and it is turned into the rainbow-like body of Vajrakumara. In an instant, think that now my body has become clear and empty like a flame or like a rainbow. So this meditation, this visualization is the form empowerment, and the form empowerment purifies the karmic imprints of the body, and it opens the doors to visualizing the form of the deity. So you should meditate in this way and during this part of the empowerment.
Mere mebon to manchebe londo to ba to de doji jon lo yo to cha sa go to je to to je ba som ji shi se ba ji chati che ba ta na jo bi zha ba only there ga bo ta to ka bi so ba da be ba chu kyang je ta wa sem be lu je de do ba che sa je sa ze je to ju do to ko ye sa
The Dharma vessel is a wrathful, blazing palace arisen from A in the dark blue triangular space expanse of the Dharma Dhatu. Blazing in a mass of fire, the Dharma arises as the wisdom being, the Bhagavan Vajrakumara with consort, the 10 wrathful ones, the animal-faced emanations, the gatekeepers, and the assembly of oath-bound ones, gathering like billowing clouds.
좀 대 도제 조로 초베자 초도만 쿨로제데 마도도 초제야 다서 세조 고조 수모 손남게 세도 도단이 고시라 고시라 zgi 고이고 왕초 르라도 리제데데 바제 소르 자리 도지 고르도 버도 지양세 카브도도 뭐 도제 도세데 와 차출라 세수 감정지 바세도 Om Vajrakilaya Kaya Bekenzo, Om Vajrakilaya Kaya Bekenzo, Om Vajrakilaya Kaya Bekenzo.
So visualize that your present body becomes burned away, just like setting fire on a pile of dried grass. Instantly, it disappears and becomes the rainbow-like form of Vajrakumara. So think that in an instant my body appears in this form. And so in this way, by visualizing in this way again and again, you have to counteract these ordinary imprints of the body. So then visualize that from the Om at the wisdom deity's forehead, white light and limitless small, white, wrathful ones stream forth and dissolve into your forehead. All misdeeds, obscurations, illnesses, negative influences, and hindrances related to the body are cleared away, and you attain the city of magnificent power. Think that the blessings of enlightened form have entered your body.
식복로 매자 빠져들이 람스고도 파 책들이 대랑들이 자sol도 도리요를 그 람스 차소선 이 양다양들 누구 봐야돼 노고래 야도노 주양 또노 주양에 들어서 보고 long bảo vệ không chỉ bộ mẹ bộ số bao nhiêu long đó tôi mà chúng đi để đối với cho nó rồi chụp cho thâu qua trong tập sĩ cho thâu chỉ bảo thâu gì hết sức mà làm gì chắc đi chụp bảo ta là cho bên đi bảo ai rồi rồi bảo ta cho chúng bảo vệ thâu bảo them mà chứ cho nó đi bảo thăm à cái đấy này đồ bảo để chụp bảo thâu sao The
Dharma vessel is a wrathful, blazing palace arisen from aim in the dark blue triangular space expanse of the Dharma Dhatu. Blazing in a mass of fire, the Dharma arises as the wisdom being, the Bhagavan Vajrakumara with consort, the 10 wrathful ones, the animal-faced emanations, the gatekeepers, and the assembly of oath-bound ones, gathering like billowing clouds. From the arm at the wisdom deity's throat, red light and limitless small red wrathful ones stream forth and dissolve into your throat. All misdeeds, obscurations, illnesses, negative influences, and hindrances related to speech are cleared away, and you attain the siddhi of fierce mantra power. Think that the blessings of enlightened speech have entered your speech.
그래서 주도지고 고세라 참양소가 좀 알아고 말듯 아니 저곡도 봤다 저하 또저도 따져서 이야 생각부터 뭐 너기 다시는 뭐 찾을라 세수 빠져지 뭐 해도서 배서 걸라 와가 베게도 배서 걸라야 와가 베게도 됐어 마다 걸라야 와가 베게도 teri ayelio zeri wang akobetu teri datastong datalatiri hage wang toyore telatiri shem radin pakchate 책라진 말이지 radun ridi to pati takichi boyore pel 책이 뭐지 어디가 약고시에서 teri 진짜지 책도 뭐지는 남상들이 고소한 거예요. Zimari, Nigama Tapari, Zumari, Saint-Hiposina, Terra Tapayoma, Siemeti Kansate, Dumastaveri, Cesarang with Dumastaveri, Tetakin, Chadan to win Zimbateri, Trabari, Jalan the Mami, Penalty, Hindam, Jizba, Jalan, Tato, Sadutra, Mangasho, 거를 못 쳤어 말이 잘 잡아 같이 총나야 근데 속으로 또 속을 사람도 딸이 르라 잡아더니 르 소화 쪽을 걸더니 르라 차당 잡아 같이 좀 먹어도 나면 잡아 같이 총나더니 사람 총나도 르라 잡아 총는 거요래 르들 좀 항전된 통거리다 르라 짜 총는 거요래 르라 기차 치와티 르들 잡아리 그래서 너나 거에서 사람 총나 르들 잡아 기차 총 근데 르기 다 저렇게 르들 다 르들 타고 다이 성공왕토는 나 자동으로 마시면 저한테 가르치는 이 라리 소들만 somebody 장가 또배 가면 저 maybe 막가면 저 와서 그래서 책 다통 말하는 좀 가지 성공사 합치고 다래 르다가 이렇게 되는 좀 봐봐줘라 이 센트 싸마들 세포랑 싸마잖아 이 세를 통해서는 가지고 요래 통해서는 인이 연구요 말이 랑 세대 예래들이 다니 맞지 잡고거든 랑 세대 지고 싸마 싸장들이 도지존이 톡 차대요래 제가 싸마서는 제가 들이 무슨 가지고 막 달리게 요래 파 저바트 가서 달려나더니 도지 팔라서 도지 봐줘도 도지 팔라고 오는 거래 너네랑 대식이고 요때 무슨 자로네 들이 얘기도 말하더니 얘기도 봐 타토가 얘기 들이 설류니는 낭sem은 이메와 하고 때 얘기도 봐다 소리 배려 저봐서 얘기
So here during the speech empowerment, we normally receive nectar to drink, and it is through the nectar that we receive the speech empowerment. And it is that which destroys or burns away our ordinary habitual imprints of grasping at the various sounds that we hear. And that's actually a very important point, because we grasp, we cling to the true existence, the reality of the meaning of the sounds that we hear. For example, if somebody is saying something nice to us, then we think that, oh, this was so nice, and we develop attachment to hearing nice words. But the moment somebody insults us, we get angry instantly. So that's also clinging, fixation. Both occasions are impermanent. Whether it's good or bad, it's all illusory. Pleasant words are not permanent, they will not last. The person who utters them himself is an illusion, and I am an illusion too. So think that all these thoughts that we develop based on words, all these thoughts, these fixations of attachment and anger, it's all confusion. Remain without grasping at any sound. Guru Rinpoche had said, you should rest within a non-conceptual state without any grasping at pleasant or unpleasant sounds. When you remain without grasping, all sound is empty. So the less we grasp at sounds or voice, the more we receive accomplishments, cities of speech. And actually, the less we grasp at sound, it is a greater sign of having received blessings. So the same we do with grasping at the body, grasping at forms, sights. We grasp at these appearances through the 6 sense consciousnesses. We become attached, we fixate, and we believe in the true existence, the solid existence of outer appearances. So the less we cling to that, the greater will be the blessings entering our mind. And the less we cling, the greater, like the lesser clinging is a sign of having lesser obscurations of the body, for instance, within our mind. So, for example, a sign of not clinging so much to the body also is to see the body as not so important, to see it more like a guest house. So what we call the obscurations of the body, an obscuration of the body, a physical obscuration, is really our attachment to the body. That's the physical obscuration. So as blessings enter our mind, these fixations, this clinging attachment, get increasingly lesser. So when we are no longer attached to our bodies, it is a sign that we have purified these physical obscurations and these physical negativities. And then, having received the speech empowerment, the grasping at the truth of the sounds, the meaning of those sounds, or the truth of the sounds that we hear, this fixation becomes diminished. And the meaning of this is also explained in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, and also elsewhere it is said that do not be happy when praised, and do not feel dejected when blamed. When you do not grasp at words and words remain empty, that is a sign that the blessings of speech have entered your speech. So when you do not grasp at form and sound, or body and speech, the mind remains pure, and then the blessings of enlightened mind can enter your mind. So actually, these blessings won't really come from elsewhere, outside of us. They really arise from the natural state of our own mind. The deity's complete form is innate to our unfabricated true nature. That is the complete perfected form of Kumara. That is Kumara's heart. That is Vajrakumara's enlightened mind. So in order to see this innately present within us, we have to purify our mind. In the Kagyu tradition, for example, we speak about separation, the result of separation, which means that we have to separate from our obscurations to have a result. So separating from our obscurations is like polishing a diamond, and the more you polish it, the more its brilliance will reveal itself. So in brief, the more you purify the obscurations of your mind, the more the qualities already complete within your own mind will reveal themselves. And the ultimate obscuration really is the dualistic grasping. Even though we might perceive two bodies, that's just outer appearance. Within the mind, there is no delineation, no duality. So when you realize that, then the ultimate obscuration of the mind, the grasping at duality, that is purified. So really all obscurations arise from this dualistic grasping.
대시 사자지 뭐 대시 사자지 뭐 톡톡에서는 실로죠 매마도 어떤 데라도 뭐 이거 또 뭐 맞지 해럴까 보도는 봐야지 해럴까 더 톡게야 차사다 요쪽으로 봐 콜로자데 마도 톡게야 차사다 저 고쳐서 뭐 손남제 뜻 두단이고 고쳐라 두다 통역와도 셈라도 이접 녀보 잘래 해와서 대시 통역으로 따서 이야세 벌보도 도마다 동제다세데 뭐 사출 스스로가 제가 돼도 매다 걸라 또 다음에서 매게서 매다 걸라 또 다음에서 매게서
The Dharma vessel is a wrathful blazing palace arisen from in the dark blue triangular spaced expanse of the Dharma Dhatu. Blazing in a mass of fire, the Dharma arises as the wisdom being, the Bhagavan Vajrakumara with consort, the 10 wrathful ones, the animal-faced emanations, the gatekeepers, and the assembly of oath-bound ones gathering like billowing clouds. From the hung at the wisdom deity's heart, blue light and limitless small blue wrathful ones stream forth and dissolve into your heart. All misdeeds, obscurations, illnesses, negative influences and hindrances related to the mind are cleared away, and you attain the siddhi of great bliss Mahamudra. Think that the blessings of enlightened mind have entered your mind.
라지 탐색들이 섭들이 홍을 홍도 사제 탐색 톡다 있어 배발이 홍역 배발한테 다고 수로만서 죽고 공원에 홍역 매주에 이식을함지 나도 박차든지 벌써 책로 내가 참에 책로 뒤자라들이 홍역 매발한테 곰나 들이 제가 거스거스하 냠대 요래들이 배 뒤쪽으로 곰나 그래서 사제 탐제 뒤쪽 공부를 가리고 다시는 홍고 홍대가 셈 이제 좀 맞춰도 매바 작가리 이게 홍고 이 제자들이 만나러 와서 로나 라랑지 이 로티랑들이 홍요사 이 홍들하게 제가 홍렸던데 이렇게 이제 좀 맞춰도 대탑제들이 책들들이 스타트 드림이라는 센티 차송 자체도 공부를
And now imagine that the mind of yourself and all others transforms into the syllable Hung, which is inseparable from the enlightened mind of all the Buddhas. Think that this Hung syllable is blazing with fire, the fire having the nature of primordial wisdom and having the power to burn away all thoughts and karmic imprints like fire burns away wood. Within the blazing Hung syllable, the blessings of enlightened body, speech, and mind are received simultaneously. So they are brought to mind all at once. So if you wanted to meditate on all the Buddhas after 3 times in one, then you should meditate on the Hung syllable. The Hung syllable has the power to destroy all dualistic thought and all their traces in your mind. So now visualize a Hung syllable. If you have mani pills or any other pills, you can eat a pill on your own and think that inside of that pill there is a small Hung syllable, and then eat that pill, swallowing it as a whole, and imagine that it dissolves into the Hung syllable at your heart. And think that thereby all dualistic thinking, all dualistic grasping, along with all their traces, are burned away, and your body, mind has become all empty and clear like a fire flame. So think that your entire being, you have become this empty, clear fire flame.
Bekenza Ho Ta Paja Toshi de Chan Thong Doji Jon Ya Yong Kora Zang Je Ba Sa Te Ge Chala Ren Ji Ba To Ren Zang To Ji Ba Lama Paja Chala Yadang Shiwa Da Chu Wo Ge Sa Che 오로르도 가도 주 나도 지수만 숨만 찌다라도 봐 찌다라도 봐다 찌다바다 요거 상상래 상상만 섬래 저스다 나서라 오제게 드티주 빠도 메바 성 체라는라 선배 초토모가 무저 띠 탐체 띠 소데 니도 소베 저 첩다도 정치 모두 제서 봐 첩다도 제서 마바르지 창통 바르지 창통 그와야 바지 창통 그와야 로봇아바세 거르도 제 통제 요초도 저 뭐가 지방만 조조대 지는 봐 알라소 봐 싸와서 주베 그래서 저 소비 점수 소남도 좀 이제 아버지도 염조 걸로 이제 되면 이 시제 초저이 초저 여병 사수 차서고 저 벌써 담제 저 소당 저기 소 고통을 받는 도주로만 돼 남라 고소는 소용대 틀에 섭지 맞아be 주지 폴로 세절로 봐도 원고라 돼서 소리 이제 과체로 누가 저저 내동 진의 존재 저도 아니야 나타나지 봐 선왕성에 같이 저 말이 봐 시와다 세벌 부동 로다 이자가 대당 당신 봐 라소발에 레상 문제 레상 타게 진에서 차유제 바체 담제 도바당 틀레제 해게 저번 틀레제서 저바 지보제 레생 남바제 고망 타스니 찹다 데베 헤로까지 헤로까 전본이 내가 해가지고 우리 저때 너는 도망당 저게 저 진소는 이도 도버서 이제도 저는 그래야 가야 와가도 도서 아비게도 오메 아원 배다 그래 가야 와가도 도와메
The great glorious Dormam is the Bhagavan Heruka Vajrakumara with consort and retinue. Above it are the Vidyadharas, Siddhas and lineage gurus. In the middle are the peaceful and wrathful Yidams, and below are the Dakinis, oath-bound ones, and protectors gathering like billowing clouds. From the 3 syllables of their 3 secrets emanates an inconceivable stream of nectar, light endowed with blessings. As it dissolves into you, think that you have obtained all common and supreme siddhis here and now. May the 16 types of fear, disease, evil spirits, negative circumstances, confused thoughts of grasping at a subject-object duality, and all unwholesome tendencies, outer, inner, and secret misfortunes, misdeeds, and obscurations be pacified without exception. May all evil curses, spells, ill-omened years, months, days, all harm caused by evil forces and samaya violators, negative circumstances caused by karma and conditions, and all obstacles be turned back. May the 4 enlightened activities, the 8 common siddhis, and 4 levels of the Vidyadharas be perfected. And as a result, may you actualize the nature of the all-pervasive Lord, great Heruka. In brief, bless us all to attain all common and supreme siddhis here and now.
So I make so good as a Saji, to let you do it. The beats out to go to Hawaii, the that's the one Tony, the one so damn took it. The damn took it, the drum of Mambo, you know, the David damn took the Iraq damn took so. The Iraq damn took the star, the Judicial Yalas of quality, not tracking tower and drum of Mambo, Yuri, or this of the song, the double job, but you catch it, then I will check Yuri. They only three talking to the Sana, Tarletry, Bull, that's the one so Zamina, 21 Sana Targo, Yore, Sana Minatini, Dortoku, my three Sana company, not one mambo sugar, one mambo sugar, Yenagata take the subject short dinner, dark or some took the town say so. The dark so took a town take the kitchen worry. So I took the time chigla, the chicken and you da mambo already. In our son, the donor, the say it out chigla. Lu ma e some will go. The McGee Giovanni, Giovanni done. Oh, go at that. Look, Giovanni done. Go at that. Not going to Giovanni done. You're in the two Gina last or so good up. He's going to start talking to you, Lord, took the top, say, this are talk top, take the Donatry, Gino, Yeti, Nari, Pangme, Pang, Tongatry, Rabla, Mashi Bata, Dinner, Loda, Dinner, Dava, Thailand, the Chasiton, Nini, Sona, Gino, Yeti, sorry, Pangme. The quiet topic, the visit to the song topic, three, Sartok, not talking about ridiculous subject, Sartok with J. Tabna, they took the topic, the children is Luna is the topic on the third dinner, they took the topic and took the topic, carried and then the Lani is so doing and the Tinson just sort of took the topic there. Sangha tapchik samayam bamde chubja sango chik samba chik wala chubja natri chik donu chik sama samba wala rogo yore pete tawa chubja sango nante song tokja tapchik tete achi bore tokja tapchik sen mayang bachi wala se dawa yore sen mayang la kare ba mebe nyumong chawa tuji nyumong ishili rogo yore tete tokja tapchik de song chen le la wore nyamchi tucholo tani like some talk you the trailer, they talk young, some talk about Cherry. Don't let it tower divinity, Taran and you, one of our tragic tangi, Donna Kang, the Chulam, Jesse, the Rank said that they got the Rashid. Judge treat a ship, they buy you do the Vajrakilaya lead. Donna United saw a chapter carry, year paper saw it. Not they say something. None of the same mind, but the Rank Tamsari, they did also the creature were red. This is the Tabet in the daughter of Drubchen, Military Java, you say, that a Tabet literally, Dodger Papa, she was the top mambo, Chiluk, Drama, the mambo, counting Yamich, the Dodgy on the cherry, this is a Yamdu, son. There is no la, Tapanga, say, Dratabji, Jabber, Dratabji, Kalaya, Darlan, Dolan, the Bami, Darlan, the Bami, but a Manager over it. Seven not all, Tamti. Seven Martin Shelton, took this outside, so Tristor is of Archibald, not all the vast of the Shelton, took it outside. There is so good the Vastana, then you quiet outside. Jala the bottom of some outside. There is seven not all, seven not all, Tama, Tor, Hako, she is the part of the three, took it outside. The outside of the tell and do it, Oma home, they're deep by Oma, which you were, sorry, and harder go on my. They could not have it that in answering by sure. There is a Garchen Rinpoche. There is a certainly tata lama gewechi yin tamchila, lama kusum dali saji jodi de, tata chewi nang thongwa, lama loko usari, song usi yore, tokje sanam chawi yore, kuling tamdeba tamchi, tata mugoda tsime shi yone, tesa jo sanam chungari, lama tamchi daji yon mari, takwara kapa padar, lama tamchi koche yinda tati yiji yore, musa tata, chewi kani tati ngusum de chirika tungo yore, de ngusum reyde, chewi kani towa lama de ngusum reyde, gadi yona yoreyde, zogur lama de bata abare, de rausa hako gore, de chudo tabira tari, tashi derek, de huwa jeta bayenze.
Now you have received the complete empowerment, and at the end, it is said that which sustains the life force of the empowerment is the holding of the samaya. And there are many different samayas, but basically there are root samayas and branch samayas. And in the various classes of Tantra, the 4 main classes of Tantra, there are many branch samayas, many subtle samayas. It's excellent if one can keep them. But so how it was practiced in the old days in India was that, for example, those 80 Mahasiddhas of India and so on, the great masters of India, one person would practice one single deity their entire life. And so this is how they would practice, and that's why they had to keep all these samaya. However, nowadays we are in different times. Now, in the present world, the secret mantra Vajrayana has spread all over the world. It has spread in Tibet and then all over the world. And we are in the degenerate age. This is the time where the secret mantra must spread. It is only the secret mantra that is able to tame sentient beings of the degenerate age. So how does it do that? First, we receive empowerments, and there's many different empowerments that we can receive. And when we receive many empowerments, along with those empowerments, there are many root samayas. But all the various the branch samayas and all the various branch samayas are actually included within 3 root samayas, the samayas of body, speech, and mind. And those really are most important, the 3 root samaya of body, speech, and mind. And even with regard to those, actually, so much can be said if one wanted to elaborate on them, those root samaya on the 3, on the body, speech, and mind. But how can we really understand their essence? The essence of those 3 samayas is as follows. So when we practice the samaya of body, for example, if you take a single negative action of the 10 non-virtuous actions and abandon it, or you practice a single virtue of those 10 virtuous actions, one of those in particular referring to the body, you are keeping the samaya of form of the body. And likewise with the speech, if you practice a single virtue with speech, that's the samaya of speech. For example, the recitation of scriptures or the recitation of mantras and so forth. And then every time bodhicitta arises within your mind, every time a wish to benefit others arises, that is when you are holding the mind samaya. So these are the root samayas of body, speech, and mind. But to summarize them even further, the samaya of the body is to abandon even just a single act that causes harm to others. In terms of timing, ideally, so that refers to the vows that we take. In terms of timing, ideally, you refrain from harming others for as long as you live. Or if not, then for some years or months, or even just for 24 hours, like when we keep the Nyingne or the Nyungne vows. When we keep those vows, we are refraining from harming others. And that is the essence of the body samaya. And then on top of that, when we accomplish the benefit of others, just a single benefit, that is to keep the essence of the speech samaya. And then when you apply the seal of bodhicitta, every time, even just a single negative thought arises in your mind, that is when you are holding the mind samaya. These three samaya of body, speech and mind, ultimately all are included within just one, and that's the samaya of the mind. And the samaya of the mind is explained in verse number 36 in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, where it says, in brief, whatever you do, look at the state of your mind, what is the state of my mind, and so forth. There is a collection of 100,000 Vajrayana samaya, but it is said that all these samaya are like 100 rivers flowing beneath a single bridge. So the rivers all have to go under the bridge. So they all meet under the bridge because they all go below that one bridge. So it's just like that. There is different samaya, but it all is really under one bridge, which is, the bridge is the mind. So since it's just the mind, actually, from that perspective, it is something that anyone can do. So the mind samaya is really most important, most precious. And that samaya of mind really comes down to one thing. And that is, do not be distracted. Sustain mindfulness. And with mindfulness, you recognize even the smallest afflictive emotion that arises. And when you see what it really is, it becomes primordial wisdom. So that is the samaya of mind. And sustain mindfulness in this way throughout the 6 periods of day and night, always recollecting the enlightened body, speech, mind, activities and qualities of the deity. So in brief, the samaya all comes down to the view, the natural state, the awareness of the natural state, which recognizes all the coarse and the subtle afflictions arising. So in brief, read verse number 36 in the 37 practices. That is it. So also the way we can divide samaya is that anything that we do that is beneficial with body, speech and mind, that is altruistic with body, speech and mind, any activity is the outer samaya. The inner samaya is to not be distracted. And that's the samaya that's really important to keep. There are many practitioners among you who have established a connection to Vajrakilaya and the Vajrakilaya Drubchen for quite some time now. And as you might know, there are many Vajrakilaya traditions, there are many different sadhanas, means of accomplishment. Whatever one you are familiar with, think that they are all one, they are all complete within one, they are all together, they are all practiced together. Their essence is that we need to recognize appearances to be the deity, sound to be mantra. All the sounds that we hear in the outer world are the Vajrakilaya mantra. In brief, if you do not grasp at any sound, then all sound will become mantra. And if you do not grasp at whatever thought arises in your mind, if you're able to let it be and dissolve, you are holding the mind samaya. And that is what is meant with all mental arisings, all thoughts are the display of primordial wisdom. So when all clinging to thoughts has disappeared, then that's the ultimate samaya of the mind. When there is no grasping at form, that's the samaya of form. When there is no grasping at sound, that's the samaya of sound. And the samaya of the mind is to liberate all thoughts that arise. Thoughts are liberated when you first recognize them and see them for what they are. So liberating them with complete awareness, that is the samaya of the mind. And all samaya are complete within this samaya. And actually all mantra recitation is complete within the Om Ah Hung. Actually it's not even totally necessary to have a separate mantra, to recite that a separate mantra for each deity, because they all are included within the syllables of Om and Hung. So, Dhamma friends, please practice in this way. This is very important, especially now, where we receive teachings over the live stream. And so it is said that the Buddha, the transcendent conqueror, is the embodiment of the three kayas. So nowadays you are seeing the Lama, the various Lamas, on a screen on the live stream. And that actually is the Sambhoga Kaya of the Lama. That is the real Sambhoga Kaya. And the blessings of that Lama's mind are actually present within that. Actually, the physical body of flesh and blood that we like to hug so much, actually that is just a fixation in our mind. We want to do that because we cling to the true existence, the material, concrete existence of appearances. And because of that, actually the physical contact possesses much smaller blessings. The true Lama can actually never leave, never pass away. That is also the meaning of us saying, please remain steadfast for many aeons. So now, due to science, it is possible for us to see our true form through the screen. So think in this way. Really think that what I see on the screen, the Lama that I see on the screen, that's the real Lama. He is always here. The physical form of the Lama, that's impermanent. So always remember that, my Dharma friends. And so I'm sending you many Dashi-Delek today, and I shall seal this practice, this empowerment, with dedication prayers.
Now we'll do the dedication prayers in the Yellow Prayer Book on page 11. By this merit may I attain omniscience, having defeated the enemies, my wrongdoings, may I liberate all beings who are tossed in the ocean of samsara by the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. Whatever virtue sentient beings possess, whatever good they have done, will do, and are doing now, whatever goodness there may be, may it permeate all beings everywhere. By the virtue accumulated throughout the three times by others and myself, may all beings filling the reaches of space enter the gateway of the unexcelled path, and may they attain the Vajra holder's ground. By all the virtue actually performed and mentally created by myself and all sentient beings of the three times, may all beings of the six realms attain the five kayas and realize the primordial wisdom of the Buddhas in the Dharmadhatu mandala of the awakened mind. Glorious root Guru, precious one who sits upon a lotus at my heart, hold me with kindness and grant me all accomplishments of enlightened body, speech, and mind. I pray for the excellent health of the Guru, I pray that he lives a supremely long life. I pray that his activities spread far and wide. Grant blessings that I may not be separate from my Guru. May the Buddha's teachings, the only source of benefit and happiness, endure long, and may the victory banner of longevity for those upholding the teachings be steadfast. May the sound of the great Dharma drum liberate all sentient beings from suffering. Please remain and teach the Dharma for infinite millions of kalpas. By the might of this powerful merit, may the aspirations of the benefactors and their circles be accomplished within this very life. May their obstacles be pacified. May everything be auspicious, and may their wishes be fulfilled according to the Dharma. Just as the hero Manjushri realized things as they are, and as did Samantabhadra too, I will follow in their path and perfectly dedicate all these virtues. As all such dedications have been praised as supreme by the victorious ones of the 3 times, I fully dedicate all my roots of virtue to excellent conduct. By the blessing of the Buddhas who attain the 3 kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging nature of reality, and by the blessing of the undivided Sangha community, may my prayers be fulfilled according to this dedication. By the virtues accumulated in the 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the intrinsic root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious awakening. Great Vajradhara, Talopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pakman Drupa, and Lord Dringumpa, may the auspiciousness of all the Kagyu Lamas prevail. Long Life Prayers on page 22. For this realm encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness, Tenzin Gyatso, Lord Chenrezig. May you remain steadfast until the end of samsara. Embodiment of the 3 jewels, great being who upholds and increases the teachings of the Shakya lion, supreme are your activities of guiding others with your perfect deeds. May you, the precious Guru who accomplishes everything spontaneously, live long. Holder of the teachings of the Lord Drigumpa, great Lord of the 3 jewels, through the power of your peerless compassion and the holy Dharma's peace and light, you bring relief to beings. May your life be long. The one known in the noble land as Aryadeva emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Cherdingpa, the heart son of Jigten Gompo. May the life of the glorious Garchen remain steadfast for 100 eons. Page 28. May the teachings of the great Drigumpa Ratna Shri, Master of Interdependence, Omniscient Lord of Dharma, who has seen all knowable things, be upheld until the end of cyclic existence through study, practice, hearing, contemplation, and meditation. Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 wheel-turning kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon. Your love is boundless like space. I supplicate to the Bodhisattva Chenrezig.
Rinpoche Sangha Tenzin Vajrakilaya